All right, students, we are going to be working in Clecky. And when you first get into Clecky, you'll just start right away making a snowflake. The way you do a snowflake is you draw the letter X, and then you draw another line right through the middle of the X. Try to make sure each of the lines are about the same length. Next, you want to draw a shape on the end of each one of those lines. And after you've done that, you'll realize that you're doing a picture that is an example of six-sided symmetry. So there's 6 lines, and we're doing the same shapes on each one of the lines. So start slowly and make sure that you do the shape on each line first. Don't try to do all of the shapes on one line and then reproduce it from there, because it becomes a little bit complicated and hard to remember which one you're doing. But if you do them one at a time, it should be pretty easy. So now I'm doing my triangle. I've done a rectangle and a circle, and I go all the way around doing that. Next, it's any shape that you want to use. Just try to make sure it's a symmetrical shape, a shape that is the same on each side. And you can repeat shapes as well. You can make them smaller. You can make them larger. It's really up to you how you want your snowflake design to look. Now, snowflakes look the way they do because they have that 6-fold or 6-sided symmetry. And there's my first snowflake. You could continue doing this in other areas on the picture to make more snowflakes. And you don't have to start with the same shape at the ends. Each snowflake can be different. But the parts of the snowflake, of any one snowflake, all have to be the same. So make sure that as you're creating that snowflake, that each of the arms of the snowflake are the same as that one snowflake. When you're done with all of that, you can start putting in other colors. And I would suggest, being creative in the way that you do this. You want to get some color in there and try to stay inside your own lines. Try to leave that black line there without changing it. One of the things you could do is to go into the layer mode and create a new layer and draw on that new layer, so that when you're drawing, you don't end up covering up your earlier picture. So if I go back to my layer and I put this layer underneath the first layer, it disappears. Maybe if I go, that's working. So if I shift the second layer, I've got it on top, but I've shifted it so that it's not covering things. And that allows me to see through it. When I pick a new color. So even if I don't stay inside my lines, I'm not destroying the earlier lines that make up my picture. But go ahead and make a Clecky drawing of at least one snowflake, but I would think that you could probably do 5 or 6 and make a really pretty picture of all of these snowflakes. And once you kind of look at them from far away, they really do become little things of beauty. So go ahead and make some snowflakes.